following video is from India. We can tell that this man is contentedly singing and strolling through the bush, taking care of himself. He pulls out his camera as he hears a strange sound. He then captures something that looks like something from a nightmare. It's strange. A creature like this in an Indian rainforest. I've heard of Bigfoot in North America and the Yeti in the Himalayas. I haven't heard about that, though. The most frightening aspect is that it tries to duck and hide behind a tree when it notices the camera, despite its intimidating size. That suggests to me that it is more intelligent than we realize. I'm curious about it, but I have no idea what it is. It might be someone wearing a suit, I suppose, but who can tell? What are your thoughts? I think this next clip is amazing, but it's just a little strange. This video has been going popular on TikTok, but I'm sure there's a good reason. The clip from Kraken 13 reveals something quite strange. It looks like a big bird is flying 20, 30, 40, or 50 feet above the ground. Millions of people have viewed this extraordinary sighting. Commenters are frantically trying to figure this out. Astute viewers have observed that the bird seems to be walking on some sort of mesh, while others have asked why a massive mesh dome would be located so high in the sky. I could certainly see the mesh now. It appears to be walking on that surface, but at one point in the video, it begins to approach at an angle. And once more, my eyes may be deceiving me. I simply cannot figure it out. It was a reflection, according to one commenter. Indeed, it might be, but I simply couldn't comprehend it. Nevertheless, it's a rather strange viral video. Let's now briefly explore the world of the inexplicable. Take a look at this trail cam photo. At first sight, it might seem like we're gazing at a photograph of some kind, perhaps one shot in the Amazon or while on vacation. The user who shared this picture is certain that the creature is carrying a baby near its face, even if the image is grainy. Which brings me to a brief pause. I was unable to identify the baby at first when I first viewed this picture. Tell me if you are unable to do so. However, it appears to be holding the infant with its back to us, if that's helpful. The fact that I can't stop seeing the animal with the infant makes it much funny. But this is what really sets this capture apart. This photo was taken in Florida, not in the Amazon. Furthermore, the uploader thinks that the mysterious skunk ape is what we are witnessing. The skunk ape is considered Florida's swamp-dwelling equivalent of Bigfoot, for those who are unaware. Additionally, this picture has been really fascinating because skunk apes with their young are not frequently seen. What are your thoughts? Is there a skunk ape in its offspring? Or is this whole situation just an instance of misidentification? Please share your thoughts with me. If you can see the ape holding the baby, that would be amazing as well. Alexander Sanchez's personal story is told in the following film, and he has some really eerie footage. He caught an odd moment on camera while he and his family were out collecting leaves. The camera captured an oddly dark figure moving down the ground as they explored the woods next to an abandoned house. It appeared to crawl almost. This thing suddenly rose to its feet, displaying an unsettling humanoid form. Even stranger is Alexander's admission that he didn't wear a cap on this particular day. However, he is evidently in the video. He wants to know if he entered a matrix of some kind. Although unusual things have happened in abandoned buildings before, this is undoubtedly one of the most eerie. Tell me what you think then. What is this? A paranormal being or something else? An odd piece of home surveillance film shot in Orlando, Florida in 2023 has gone viral online thanks to a TikTok user. An unidentified sphere of lights is seen gliding across the night sky in the video, and a whirlwind of discussion and conjecture ensued. The video, which was captured by a Wise home security camera, encloses the orb in a green square and highlights it with an integrated tracking feature. The good news for believers is that this tracking appears to refute certain commenters' claims that the video is a fake. That's a computer-generated image trick. Another twist is that several viewers offered a potential explanation based on the location. A planned launch by SpaceX or NASA. This is a believable notion given the close proximity to Florida's Space Coast, where launch sites are located on Merritt Island or Cape Canaveral. That's all well and good, but given how quickly this thing moves, people are looking for a far more compelling explanation. Most viewers, in my opinion, are certain that this is proof of extraterrestrial activity. I'm referring to its brilliance, peculiar motion, and velocity. I tend to concur. It seems to me that we have an alien object here. There are several reasons why this following clip is frightening. A young girl is seen getting off her scooter and heading to see her father. Suddenly, this large dog rushes over to her. I don't blame Dad, though, because he isn't having it. The dog doesn't appear to be the typical violent breed, but you can't play around with your children, guy. Although it's difficult to read the dog's body language, it's possible that he's just having fun. I'm not sure, but I don't hold it against Dad for not taking any risks. This following clip will make your heart race, man. This guy is on the boat in the ocean when we notice him. The camera operator moves the camera around. We get to see the landscape, which gives us the impression that they are rather isolated. It appears to be chilly, with ice and water all around. Things start to become intriguing. Back to the man, the camera pans. Additionally, a huge wave appears in the background. The wave is enormous as well. Yes, just to clear the air. Some individuals claim that this was made by a sea monster. Not in my opinion. Hurry up. That's not the story here. In my opinion. According to the narrative, this individual is truly directly behind this enormous wave. In any case, it seems wild, and I have witnessed massive waves form when iceberg fragments have broken off from the main piece, but nothing this large. Additionally, a commenter mentioned that the iceberg might have moved. It's unbelievable that it can produce such a large wave, but to me, it's different from a piece of it falling off. Unfortunately for us, the video shuts out, but perhaps it's lucky for them, and they managed to escape dodge despite the situation.
I think it's time to go.
In the video, you hear the owner say, "I think it's time to go, and I must tell you the truth. It's the fastest I've ever seen a dog depart a place." They're all saying, "Yep, you're right, guy, you know what? Let's leave this place." Can we also discuss this clip's diverse cast of dogs? In addition to hunting dogs, we also have 2 or 3 black labs, a French bulldog, and another, possibly a pit bull. Furthermore, I'm not sure if that is a French bulldog. Anyway, that's really awesome, but aside from that, what do you suppose that noise was? It was described like a bobcat in heat. Please let me know whether you believe that to be true, or if you are familiar with that, as it appeared that many individuals shared that opinion. This is merely a humorous short clip that I felt was taking a different turn. Take a look.
This girl wanted to film what her view looked like every morning on their vacation, but she never expected this would happen.
I thought, wow, these views are amazing, as soon as I saw what I assumed to be an outside balcony. I'm eager to see what she sees. Perhaps a pterodactyl or a hawk might swoop down, I thought. Nope, just a moment of embarrassment. As you can see, a woman has found herself in a difficult situation while trekking in Southern California. I might add that it's a short route with some breathtaking vistas, and there's a huge brown bear right in the middle of it. In an attempt to scare the bear away, you can really hear her roaring back at it. Unfortunately, this bear does have pups with her, as we have explained numerous times, so she is unlikely to give up. My personal opinion is that I would take off as soon as I turn the corner at the start of the film. I would do everything in my power to keep that beast at bay. If the bear can't see you, it doesn't know you're running, even if I know you shouldn't. The fact that this person was actually running on this route and was cited as saying that the bear was 5 inches from her waist as she turned the corner is one of the most bizarre aspects of all of this. She pulled out her phone after being frightened and instantly doubling back. The runner and another individual were eventually able to escape since there were 2 roads, and the bear and her cubs continued down the other path. During the past year or so, I have been more aware of our skies and the possibility of extraterrestrial visits than I have ever been. It's like a never-ending puzzle, really. Shape-shifting lights, bright orbs, and speeding projectiles are all present. There's always something insane happening up there, after all. In a way that, well, no regular jet can, this clip shows a bright light slicing over the sky. This gadget is fast, after all. In summary, it's not your typical aircraft and it maneuvers strangely. What is it? I'm referring to a UFO or a covert government effort. At a Florida Keys golf club, a man was fishing for tarpon when he unexpectedly got the shock of his life. As the fisherman goes about his work unhindered, everything initially appears to be okay. A huge alligator that appears to be assessing him is concealed in the grass a few feet distant when he abruptly whips the camera to his right. He carefully makes his way back to show everyone that the predator has left, or at least is at a safe distance. After his adrenaline subsides and he has had time to collect his breath, the fisherman, counting his lucky stars, makes the sensible decision to depart the region, concluding that it is too small for the 2 of them. He'll find another place to fish. Alright, so picture this. This woman simply goes to sleep believing that her home is a safe place for her to be. She is unaware of the danger that is quietly approaching her. The image, which was captured by a security camera installed in her bedroom, shows a woman sleeping soundly and happily, oblivious to the impending event. Suddenly, a python has slithered across the floor and is moving directly at her. The snake seems to get excited as the camera rolls, almost as if it's getting ready to attack her foot. The woman awakens abruptly, jolting upright in bed, as though she had just experienced a nightmare. She reaches for her flashlight, and it's clear she's a little dazed. And as she peered down, shone the light, and saw this python, I'm sure her heart about leaped out of her chest. This object, after all, is only a few inches from her bed. Her son is in the next room, and she rushes to rouse him up. The local animal rescue workers are called in. Additionally, they can't locate the snake in the bedroom when they get there. In fact, it slid inside the restroom. However, they managed to catch it and reintroduce it into the wild. In the following little film, which is from Squatch Watchers, we observe a hairy monster moving through the forest. I can't quite place it, but this reminds me of one of Sonny Veter's videos. Although there wasn't a lot of detail included, it did mention that the Bigfoot was paving a way, and that the individual who reported it had seen paths throughout the rear of his land. These have, in my opinion, recently come down to either being genuine Bigfoot sightings or being a hoax. I thus hope that someone is aware of whether this is real or not. A car can be seen rushing down Highway 78 at around midnight in footage taken on November 2nd, 2014. The car can be seen slowing down to avoid a suspicious roadblock ahead a few seconds later in the footage. Only 2 traffic cones are obstructing the entire road as he gets closer. When the driver stops his automobile, his headlights illuminate the lower body of a man who is approaching his car suspiciously. The man blocks the car's route by standing in the way while the driver tries to drive through the cones. The driver reaches out to the man right away, sensing something is wrong, in an attempt to elicit an explanation. Soon after, it's evident that the driver's instinct is telling him to leave Dodge immediately, though in hindsight, I don't even believe I would have gotten engaged to this person. When the driver was quizzed for this, he said that he observed the man reach for his pocket as soon as he asked if he needed assistance. The driver then made the decision to leave and drove off. The fact that the man who stopped his truck and his accomplice were later taken into custody by the police, but only charged with DUI was also clarified in the interview. What may have happened if the driver had stayed long enough to learn the truth is currently up in the air. These guys said, "We're going to steal someone else's car and get out of here so we don't get a DUI," which makes me believe that they were intoxicated when they broke down or wrecked. When you're intoxicated, many things look like good ideas. I don't miss those times, man. Something somewhat odd occurred in the charming North Yorkshire village of Carlinghown back in 1967. It sparked a lot of conversation, particularly those with an interest in the paranormal. Thus, a man by the name of Harry Dack snapped what he believed to be a straightforward picture of his infant grandson, Neil, simply spending time with his dog. However, upon closer inspection of the photo, he saw that something, or rather, someone next to Neil was clearly not meant to be there. He observed a woman's figure, although she appeared rather translucent and ghostly. Her eyes were closed, which made it much more unnerving and weird. I mean, this photo makes me question if the figure is sleeping. Is she dead, really? What's happening? People had all kinds of theories, just like me. Some speculated that the enigmatic figure might be a ghost trapped in time or possibly from another age. Others conjectured that it might simply be a technical error, such as a duplicate exposure in the image. But here's the real deal. That camera has never done anything like that before, according to the owners, and regrettably, we are no closer to answers now than we were at the time. Her actual identity is still unknown. In Australia's Northern Territory, just 50 kilometers east of Alice Springs, is the intriguing and enigmatic rock structure known as Corroboree Rock. For the Oriente, or indigenous people, this natural structure, which is composed of dolomite, has great cultural and spiritual value and is regarded as a sacred location. Something really strange happened here in 1959. Adelaide Presbyterian preacher R.S. Blance chose to snap a picture of what he believed to be an empty scene, just the rock encircled by some shrubs and open space, while he was at Corroboree Rock. When he returned a few weeks later, he developed the pictures. The sight of a figure standing amid the brush that surrounded the area astounded him. The figure looks to be a semi-transparent woman, dressed in a long dress, as can be seen. Although this image has long captivated and perplexed people, it is considered a legitimate paranormal image in some areas. In addition to being a geological wonder, the place holds significant value for the local indigenous populations. In fact, they believe that women, children, and men who have not completed specific initiation rites are at risk in the vicinity of Corroboree Rock. It should go without saying that climbing on the rock is strictly prohibited because it is considered a sacred location that requires a great deal of respect. Let's return to the apparition now. Do we believe that R.S. Blance actually took a picture of a woman? I am certain that I do. I am aware that many others do. That seems sufficient to me. What a fantastic picture. I've watched this well-liked YouTube video throughout the years, but I decided to include it in this one since it was a clear version, which has left many people perplexed. There are thousands of comments after all. Video editing and paranormal are being mentioned. In essence, however, the scene is a river tucked away in the Scottish countryside. Here's some background, though. A woman has set up her camera and is simply waiting in the hopes of filming an otter that is frequently spotted in the neighborhood. At first, everything appears to be okay. There is no indication of what is hiding in the woods from the serene surroundings and rivers. As time passes, an oddity starts to appear on the left side of our screen. Initially, it seems to resemble a faint shadow, a mist, or perhaps an animal. But over time, it becomes more pronounced. Furthermore, this shape is dynamic. It is difficult to overlook this as a straightforward trick because it gradually shifts toward the left side of the picture and is more noticeable with every second that goes by. Naturally, the video has gone viral, as I mentioned. Millions of views, extensive discussion. On one side, the skeptics contend that modern technology can easily accomplish this. The video, according to paranormal experts, depicts something that is truly inexplicable. If you will, a peek into the unknown. I'm glad I finally got to see a clear version of it, but I tend to go more toward the paranormal side. Again, I don't know the person filming this, so it's extremely difficult to say. The following video is from Yellowstone's Brushbuck Wildlife Tour. An amazing interaction has been captured by them. It's fairly amazing, really. Normally hibernating, this grizzly bear has discovered the kill of a wolf group. It is buried behind the snow, as you can see, and she is pawing at it while some wolf pack members are nearby. Indeed, the wolf pack must have been taken aback when they returned to find this large grizzly bear perched atop their prey. For the most part, it was basically an attempt to keep the wolves away. However, as you can see, this relationship has become considerably riskier once food was introduced. However, one thing is constant. The wolf pack will bring numbers. Look at them all. They simply keep coming. I came upon a statistic on this page about wildlife trips. In the larger Yellowstone environment, grizzlies are said to supplant wolves in 80% of cases. Thus, they might not have been overly shocked. Still, it's really amazing to observe how the two clips differ from one another.